And welcome, everyone. It's precisely 10 a.m. We're right on time. Very happy to start today's release webinar, the What's New in ELISE webinar, as we usually do every quarter. And you know what? Today's a very special release. So I'm super excited to have, as usual, our co-founder, Daniel, and Marvin, our head of academy. Welcome, Daniel. Welcome, Marvin.
Hi, Mael, and welcome, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Great to have everyone. So you know what, without further ado, because it's such a special occasion and we're excited to show something today, Daniel, I'll hand it over to you.
Cool, yeah. Welcome everyone, also from my side. As always, let's have a quick look into our numbers. The first one is really exciting for us. So 90% of our current users are using the latest technology. This means you're really waiting for new features, and we are really thrilled to show you some new things today. Also, we released 6 months ago our new marketplace with already over 25 add-ins, and 60% of you are actively using it more or less every day. And yeah, the numbers, as always, we have 87 new features we will present today, and 98 bugs we fixed. And yeah, thanks to your bug reports. Also, the Academy team did a great job again. So we will have 50 new extended component helps with great examples to help you and empower you to using our components. But before we dive further, back to you, Mael.
Indeed, Daniel, thank you very much. We have very exciting news, as we said today, and for that I'll hand over to Moritz.
Yeah, thanks, Mael, for the nice introduction. Welcome, everybody. It's nice to have you here in our webinar for the new release. As you might have read before in the announcement, today it's not only about a new software release. We have a little announcement to make, which I'm really proud to be able to share with you today. Let me share my screen. So for us, it's a very special day because, as you know, we have been starting the whole journey of ELISE for over a decade ago. So it has been over 10 years that we started as a research institute group at the Alfred Wegener Institute in Bremerhaven, north of Germany. And we had the idea in mind of actually converting the bionic design principles into lightweight innovation structures in the engineering field. And that's where also ELISE stands for. So ELISE is an abbreviation of Evolutionary Light Structure Engineering. And this was exactly what we did down the past. So we tried to come up with innovative solutions for engineers, for automotive industry, for aerospace industry. And we somehow offered engineering services to our customers. And we soon realized that the tools that actually we were able to use, like, for example, CATIA or HyperMesh, Altair, all of these typical engineering tools, they were not really fitting our needs of having a real agile hardware development environment. And so we started off coming up with our own software tools. At the very beginning, little scripts. Then further on, it was ELISE 1.0 was a Grasshopper plugin, so already some kind of visual programming. And somehow over the time, when also you asked us, could we not only buy your services, but the tools that you're using internally, we shifted of becoming a real software company. Yeah, and I guess during the time, during over a decade, we somehow formed the future of engineering. And that's also a quote that I would like to bring you from Alan Kay today. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And this is what we actually did. So we shifted fundamentally the way of how engineers are working from clicking and sketches and standard software tools like we were used to use it on our own into this new domain, into the visual programming domain. So it's a completely new technology shift, and we are long before never only doing bionic lightweight design solutions. Nowadays, we are optimizing electromobility, sustainability parts. We have AI features in there. So it's become a real universe of engineering tools, all based on this universal low-code language that we call it connected engineering today. And so we think, well, maybe also it's time to rethink what the software and even our company stands for, and what also the name is that we are using. And so today, I'm really proud to present that we are taking a next step in our evolution to better fulfill our mission, to really provide you the best software tools that we can think of. And so we decided to rename our company from ELISE to Synera. So maybe this is a surprise for you. Maybe it's something you've heard before. For us, it's a real big thing. So renaming your company is something which really our heart was working for over the last couple of years already. And so it's a huge change for us. But what actually changes? Well, first of all, we celebrated. We did this, as you can see, very extensively. We've celebrated ourselves, the change, and the exciting new area that we are like going to in the future. But now, of course, you might ask yourself, well, what changes with the renaming for me as a partner of Synera? So I want to deep dive a little bit with you together into the new brand. And so what we did is we tried to keep and retain all the things we love about ELISE. And this starts obviously with our logo. So first, we used our software to rethink the icosphere, like the icosahedron, as Giacomo told me, it's originally named a mathematical expression. As you can see here, we really figured out the best shape with a parametric optimization to fit this new era and also like the style of this new world, the Synera world. So from a design perspective, we try to keep the best of ELISE and convert it into the new era. But what actually is behind Synera? So what does Synera mean for us? So Synera consists of basically two ideas. The first idea is syn. And syn comes from the Greek language, and it stands for with, together, connected, also like synergy or something like synapses synthesis. So you always use it when you bring things together. And this is actually what we're doing with our software. We are connecting software tools. We are connecting engineers, whole departments. We are breaking up silos. We want engineers to do nothing twice anymore. So we want to have these synergies in the work, having efficiency all over. So this is at the deep heart of our connected engineering environment, that we want to use synergies. The second half of the world is era. And of course, an era is something completely new in product development, a whole new era of how to do things, how to develop products. And that's why also we as a company, as pioneers of this new era of a low-code environment in the engineering domain, want to position us to be the first era where engineers work together in a connected engineering environment. And that's where Synera stands for. But also our marketing team did lots of efforts in the past 3 weeks, and they came up with a really vibrant and colorful new spectrum of like being able to feel this new era. So we decided for some new website, synera.io. This is also where you will find our customer portal, the download section and everything, but you don't have to care. You will get redirected from elise.de to the new domain. And also we think that we have landed a very inspiring and more fresh design in this part. But this is only the design. For you, it's very important that our mission remains the same. So we want to emphasize that we definitely like commit ourselves of providing you with the best software tools for connected engineering in an open environment, so that you're able to connect all the dots and you do the cherry picking of your beloved tools and come up with programs or workflows that accelerate your product development to develop better products faster. So with that being said, with our little announcement, I want to hand back to Daniel and Marvin, who will guide you through the rest of our release webinar of our Fabulous Freya release. Thanks, everybody, and take care.
Well, super exciting. Thank you, Moritz. So we're now Synera. So you know what? The first thing we have to do now, Daniel, Marvin, we have to change our backgrounds. These are outdated now.
Of course.
Let's do it. So really some huge announcements today.
Well, and now our backgrounds are up to date as well. So yeah, we're super excited to be Synera now and to have a new era start with all of you guys today who are participating. So Daniel, we have a lot of other things to show and still a lot of features to show. So I'll hand back over to you to take our audience through all the exciting things that are new.
Yes, thank you, Mael. So as you heard, we have some great updates today. So we started with our new brand, and yeah, today we also have our new version, which is the Synera 2020-10 Fabulous Freya. And we have so many updates for you. So let's have a quick look. We will talk about 4 major upgrades in more detail. So let's jump into the first one. As you can expect, with a new brand, we also have to make a facelift of our design. So yeah, let's load Synera. So while Synera is loading, let's talk about what you have to do to migrate to the new world of connected engineering with Synera when you are coming from ELISE. To be honest, it's pretty easy because migration is as easy as opening a file. So when the first time you open the new Synera version, you get a nicely wizard, you get 4 steps you have to do with some explanation. And afterwards, everything is set up automatically for you. And then when you open a new file, you can read all the existing ELISE files you had created in the past. And when you save it again, you get the new Synera file format and you get all the new functionalities we will present today. And the cool thing is that all our add-in developers did a really great job. They already updated all the add-ins to the newest Synera release, so you can already upgrade all your add-ins and use it directly in Synera. And we also thought, okay, when we're changing the design, the brand, more or less everything, we also thought, okay, maybe it makes sense to sharpening a little bit our terminologies. So in the ELISE world, we had a lot of words, a lot of things describing special documents, our file format, all the stuff. And we learned a lot, especially from new users, that sometimes it's a little bit confusing. So yeah, we thought about some sharpening. And in the Synera world, we now talk always about workflow, because what we are doing is we developed a low-code language for automating your task. And automating is more or less you create your own workflows to get rid of your boring stuff. And the ELISE file format becomes the new Syn file format. And a function is like now a nested workflow. So we would like to just make it more lean, more easy. And as we are a no-code, low-code language, we thought, okay, why have we used component all the time? So from today, hopefully I will also remember it now in my presentation, we are not talking about components anymore. We are talking about nodes. And yeah, the ELISE app becomes Syn add-in, and all the things which gives you a kickstart and gives you some help to start with Synera is now packed in a template. So we also had some major update into the theme. So left, you see the latest ELISE release, and on the right, the beautiful new 2020-10 Fabulous Freya Synera release. We updated all the color plates, so it's much more modern, much more flat. And we're really excited to get your hands on and see what's your feedback about this new colored scheme. Also, the new website is rebranded, and especially also the portal, which means the marketplace, the support center, everything you are normally using to discover the whole universe of Synera. So be very excited about that as well. And now let's talk about some more improvements directly into our software. Marvin, hand over to you.
Yes, so we have our new UI UX improvements, and there are a couple of new things, especially regarding the search. So it makes it so much easier to find things and to use Synera very easily. The first thing is the global search. So you know that you can find things in Marketplace and the Academy. Now you can also directly go to the documentation. If you have any questions, it's the direct thing to go there, global search, and then you will find your things directly. So next one is the search of components. And usually you type in the components, and if you are an advanced user, especially for this, now you can also use the acronym, and you can find, for example, here the extrude surface body directly without typing so much. Then the other thing is related to the search on canvas. Thanks, Daniel. That is super powerful. So especially if you have large workflows, you have tons of nodes there, and yeah, you would basically like to search for them and find them directly. So you just launch the canvas search, you type in what you're searching for, and then you can jump in there directly, whether it is a component, and there it is. First thing, whether it is a node or it is in canvas annotation or anything else. All right, this is also super exciting. So we like to reduce clicks. We like to make things as easy as possible. And also, especially when having a larger workflow, you can imagine that the cables, the wires are just longer. So you don't have to go to the beginning and to the end, what you can also do using the shortcuts, but now you can just go in any place and drag the wire to the left or to the right, and then pull it to your new node.
Cool.
So Daniel, that is about easy to use, but now let's talk about some more advanced stuff and see a totally new feature.
Exactly. Thank you, Marvin. It was cool to see what we can now do with the wires, like connecting even faster to a node. But yeah, let's talk about a new era of connected engineering. So this is definitely, beside the rebranding, one of my personal favorites for today. So we will have a huge announcement in the area of connected engineering. So you already know that we have over 700 nodes in our software that you can use to build up your workflows. You have the marketplace with another tons of nodes from all different major software vendors to connect to the world of engineers. And for the advanced users, we already had the possibility to connect to more or less any desktop application which is installed on your PC. For that, we have this brilliant node called Run External Program. And you can more or less use any kind of executable to integrate this into your workflow setup. And to make this even easier for you, we will introduce in this release another 7 nodes for handling the file system. So if you want to read files or you want to copy and move files, it's much more easier now with the new file system nodes to handle desktop applications. And we have a lot of customers who are already using this kind of combination, for example, to handle MATLAB integrations or other tools which are like executables on your PC. But yeah, this is the desktop world, right? So there's something more. And this is definitely the web. And we have tons of web application out there. This is just a glimpse of some logos which have great software there, which people consume and use every day. And we thought, okay, is it somehow possible that an engineer can connect to these brilliant web applications via Synera? So let's have a look. So we have the web application on the right, and we have Synera on the left. How can we do this? Luckily, there's like a contract between a web application and the rest of the world. So there's a technology called REST API, which standardizes the interface between all the different services. And now we are able to communicate via our new web nodes from Synera to the REST API. And you already know we had the JSON nodes, sorry, so I still have to learn it. The JSON nodes already introduced last time, which we can use to get the information back from the web service. So I'm really, really thrilled to announce today that we will have 11 new nodes into our software, which allows you and gives you the power to connect more or less to any kind of web services out there in the world. And it's like a door opener to another universe. So just to give you a feeling about what's possible, we created some demos for you. So first is a very easy one. We called it, there's a web service called QuickShot. And this web service helps you to build easy charts or any kind of graphs you would like to use. So there's some JSON data needed to create this graph. Then you put this data string into the quick chart web service, and at the end, you get a nice chart as a visual. And how does it look now in Synera? So in Synera, you have this new component called web request to file, and you have to specify the information on the left. In this case, you have to specify the file format for an image and the data for creating the chart. And we have a brand new image panel component. And here we go. Now you can directly stream any kind of charts into an image panel and have it on your canvas. So you can use it to post-process all your simulation results or all your QA results easily in a chart like this one, for example. But the cool thing is, I mean, we have now connected to a chart API, right? So we do not have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to diagrams. So the Quick Chart API delivers thousands of different diagram charts. This is just a glimpse, just 9 out of, I don't know, 100. So really have a look into the Quick Chart AO library and see what is possible, and everything you can easily integrate now into a Synera workflow. The next is an integration, for example, with SendGrid. So SendGrid is a service which allows you to send email notifications directly from your workflow. Again, you have some documentation, how you have to set up everything, and at the end, you can send a mail. So imagine you have now a workflow where you can send mails directly from your workflow. Maybe you have a long-running simulation task, or you have a design of experiment and you want to get notified about the best design. You can now use this kind of integration directly in Synera. And to make it even easier for your coworkers, you can wrap everything into a nested workflow. And at the end, you have only these two components to send data and emails directly from your workflows. Okay, this was just a slide. So we prepared some demos for you as well. So let's jump in. So the first thing I would like to show you is an integration with Pushover. So Pushover is a web services for mobile notifications. So I would say the next level of email notification. So the first thing was what we do, we create a web client. So this is our new component. We put the base URL in the web client, and the web client is configured. It's like our session. And the next thing is what we have to do is we have to make a web request. We have to get the client here ready. We have to get a panel to see if it's successful. Then we need some endpoint, and we have prepared already our message. And now let's see if everything is working like expected. So now when we put our message here to the content block, let's see. Okay, we have to set off post. And here we go. We have the brand new notification on the screen. So this is a pushover notification, but I would also like to show you how easy it is to set up a web service with the power of the JSON components. So for example, in this weather application, I mean, it's just an example, but it gives you a feeling how everything works together, right? So first of all, we have to get our URL constructed. So we have our base URL here, and we already created some dictionaries on the other hand. So we put them together. Next is we have to make a web request with a get method. And now we are getting data back from the service. Okay, here we go. So it's a busy web service. So let's go to, we need some, we have a JSON string here as a content. And now with the cool JSON components, we can easily post-process them. So we deconstruct them, we get all the information. So the first thing was we ask, okay, where is Sydney located? And we get the longitude and the latitude information here. So we take this, I already prepared some other nodes. Then we're doing another call here, a web request to get the temperature information. And at the end, we have another JSON. We just need to deconstruct when the data is there. So it seems that a lot of people would like to get a weather forecast. So normally in my first dry run, it was just 1 second to get the data. But yeah, we will see. And here we go. We can deconstruct it. And now we can easily check, okay, here's another JSON where we get the temperature. And when we put the temperature in and we put the location from this string into our weather forecast. And now we see Sydney is, with some, I would say, calm temperatures here. Let's see where our headquarters is located in Bremen, where the information or where the weather forecast is here. Not too bad, even warmer than Sydney. So everything is thanks to the climate change, right? Oh my God. Okay, last demo for today regarding the web demo from my side is I already showed you the quick shot integration, but I wanted to show you how this looks in real. So I already created everything. I wrapped them nicely up in nested workflows. And now, for example, I can change the data points. I can change how it will represent it here. For example, this is a scatter plot, or I can say I want to have a line plot here with some fillings. So there's a lot of possibilities now available through this new web integration. You can also have other charts, like for example, this spider web chart. Again, everything is possible. You can have a look into it. I use a bunch of dictionary and web request components, and at the end, you're getting this nice diagram with its new image panel. Okay, so this was my demo for the web node. I hope you are also so excited as I was, as I had my first hands on it. So I'm really excited to see what you guys will develop with this new integration. Luckily, we already had 2 early adopters who played around with it. And one of them is the CEO of Optimate, Jonas. They developed a really, really cool web services for sheet metal bending. But I think best is Jonas will tell you more about it and how everything works and how they integrate it into Synera. Jonas, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Daniel, for the introduction, and welcome everybody. I'm Jonas. I'm Managing Director and founder of Optimate. We are a startup located in Stuttgart, dealing with software solutions for the sheet metal industry. So our goal is basically to enable every designer worldwide to get access to sheet metal know-how within seconds. Yeah. So everything is about analysis of sheet metal components and the optimization. The goal is to get the best out of each file. And I'm really excited to get the chance to show the Optimate demonstration for the Synera use case in a quick live demonstration right now. So let's jump into the demo and have a look how it goes. So here we go. The Optimate potential recognition node is where we start, and we have set up everything, so it's quite easy to do it on your own. First thing that you do is to select the material and to upload or to connect a file. And in this case, we have a simple sheet metal file on the right side. So there are 4 inner contours, 1 band. So it's quite easy. And if we connect the part to the Optimate node, then we see that we get 2 results basically. And in this case, we have 2 issues in the file. So it's not even producible right now. And what we got is first that the inner contours are too close to the bend zone, and the second one here is the minimum flange length that is not reached. So if we click into the results on the body, we see that we already have provided a repaired solution of the file within extended flange lengths. So let's jump into the Optimate node and see how it is built up. And we see that we have multiple areas here. First of all, of course, we sent the file for processing, and it was quite easy to integrate the API into the web services of Synera. And after we have processed the file, we get different results, as we have just seen in this use case. So process, result, and the notch here on the top is waiting for the results. And then we have, of course, the downloaded issue. In this case, we had the minimum flange length that was not reached and the cutout diameters that are too close to the bend zone. And we also have the repaired solution available, so you can directly integrate this into your web services and then get everything from Optimate available within seconds. So it's quite powerful and easy use case. And now we have the chance to use Optimate right into Synera. So I think there was just one example of so many use cases, especially for the integration of Optimate. Just feel free to try it out, and I'm really looking forward to your response. So take care and enjoy the meeting.
Yeah, thanks, Jonas. It's so cool to see what you guys doing, and I really like your web service a lot. So definitely check it out when you play around with the new web nodes. Another one is is Pierre from the company called Neural Concept, and I'm really thrilled to have him also on stage because last time we released our machine learning kernel, right? So how you can interact with our machine learning technologies to build up great models. And Pierre and his team from Neural Concept, they did an awesome job in this area, and they extended pretty well to the Synera environment. So yeah, Pierre, please give us some insights.
Hello everyone, my name is Pierre Baquet. I'm the founder and CEO of Neural Concept. I'm very happy to be part of this webinar for the release of the new web API within Synera. So a bit about Neural Concept. So Neural Concept is a spin-off from the University EPFL in Lausanne. We are a team of a bit more than 35 people now, working with engineering companies across the globe. So Neural Concept has developed AI software that empowers leading engineering organizations with the latest advances in deep learning and in artificial intelligence. Neural Concept embeds unique algorithms and some proprietary techniques within an MLOps platform dedicated to engineering data. This makes it possible for engineering teams to teach the machine to predict the output of the most complex simulation workflows within a few seconds. Once onboarded, any designer can get access to real-time simulations and optimization suggestions embedded within their workflow. So the workflow of using Neural Concept goes in two steps. The first step is the step of training the model and validating it. And the second one is the step of publishing the model and using it for everyday engineering design. And we think that the Synera platform can be used during actually these two steps in two different ways. In the first part, the Synera platform with its very powerful DOE capabilities can be used to generate engineering data and simulation data. The simulation data can then be fed within the Neural Concept platform to train these predictive models that are then published as applications using for the designer experience. And these models can then be served as web APIs that can then be used within the Synera platform to get basically real-time predictions or to be embedded within any engineering workflow. So for the release of the new web API feature of Synera, we have built this integration, this demo that is illustrating mostly the second part of the workflow that I was describing. And more particularly, this demonstration is aiming at showing the possibilities of integrating a model that is trained to predict the aerodynamics of front wing of a Formula 1 car. So here you could see the front wing geometry in real time, based on a data set of simulation that was processed before to generate this trained model. So as I was saying, then this trained model can be made available through a web API that is then called within the Synera platform. So this demo here is illustrating the few steps that are required to actually build this integration. And in this case, it was actually very simple. So the first steps of the integration are more configuration steps regarding the configuration of the API connection. Once this is done, we can create and initiate a prediction session. That is the step of having instantiating this predictive model that is ready to use, and then defining the path of the data that has been generated. In this 9 steps that we are seeing here, for instance, we are retrieving the simulation results that are composed actually of some pressure quantities on the surface of the airfoil and some lift and drag quantities. In this additional step, we are programming in this visual environment how to map and how to reuse the pressure that are predicted by the airfoil and how to map them on the surface of the airfoil. And once this is done, we can use this integrated workflow in order to do real-time design exploration. So here we have defined a mesh modification factor that is creating by deformation, that is creating new airfoil configurations. And this mesh is then fed via the web API to the neural concept prediction that then can be used for real-time prediction. And in the second step, that's what we are illustrating here. Within Synera, this can even be used to perform parametric optimization. So here it's a very simple one-dimensional parametric optimization where we are just optimizing this mesh modification factor in order to optimize the drag quantity of this airfoil. So of course, this is quite simple example, but this can also be used to integrate to create more complex simulation workflow. So once again, the Synera platform can be used to generate DOE and generate data that can be then used within the neural concept platform to be processed and do this very complex machine learning, 3D machine learning job, which then can be exported and exposed as a web API to be used also within the engineering workflow within the Synera platform. So if you're a Synera customer and you will be interested in using these predictive 3D predictive models, please contact us. You can contact us directly on our website, neuralconcept.com. And if you're already a Neural Concept customer, Neural Concept user, and you would like to also explore this type of integration within Synera, please get in touch with us. We will also be very happy to support this integration, this type of workflow. Thanks a lot for listening to this short demo, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the presentation.
Yeah, thanks, Pierre. It was very cool to see what you guys already integrated into a Synera workflow and what's your engine also already capable of. So yeah, really, really cool. Thanks so much. And now we have another topic, right, Marvin?
Yes, thank you, Daniel. So I will share my screen now. All right. So the next topic I would like to present is model-based engineering. That is something we have touched briefly in the previous release, but only with some components. Now I would like to give you a more deeper insight into this large field of engineering applications. So quick recap here, we have you've already presented these JSON and dictionaries. So with these new nodes, you have the opportunity to handle large JSON files. So basically metadata and post-process them further. So you can construct those dictionaries, you can merge those dictionaries, you can create the JSON from data. And that is so powerful. So I would like to show you what to do with it. Another thing for model-based engineering is our parameters. So we get a lot of JSON imports and a lot of data inside, and where to find it in your large workflow you're going to build up. So we have developed this show and search function. So for example, here in the slider, you can just tag it so that it will be available with the global search or with the search here. And if you type it in, then you have direct access to these parameters, and you can use it wherever you want in your workflow. That works also for other stuff, like here for the arc, the body, box grid, for toggles, and yeah, the select component node. All right. So here, now I would like to give you a live demo and dig more into this field of model-based engineering. So let's check out this workflow created for you. And let's stay a little bit on this chart. So what is model-based engineering? Model-based system engineering? It is basically that you have data in a very high level, and then you would like to get a very fast response and very fast result of your first draft product development in order to make feasibility studies and in order to make decisions. So usually your data is here. It's like your requirements, your technical requirements, and then you have the solution space with a very high level function layer. Here you have like Capella, Cameo, then you have data from OpenModelica, and then it goes down to the build level. In the build level, Synera now builds the bridge between those data, which are typically in text, CSV, or JSON format. We can extract this data and then create an automated process, a digitalized product development process. In this case here of this wind turbine, a very basic model. You can create the geometry automatically and then run an FE analysis, also using third-party tools, for example, Altair. And then later you can make a decision. You can give it to another optimizer. And here, for example, we have a power plant for 7 megawatt, and now can just choose another JSON set, and the component will run. In the background, we will create the geometry and we will evaluate it, running a simulation. And super fast, you have your new results and you can make decisions very fast. So we have seen before the global parameters, how to set them, and the JSON files. So let us go inside in this workflow, because everything here is packed into this into this include function, and then check out where how to use these new functions.
Nested workflow, Marvin. No functions anymore.
No functions anymore. Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay.
We have to train ourselves.
No, just okay. So let's go inside this nested workflow, and you can see that here we have our let's have the high level. So first we have the JSON import. We will create the geometry automatically. Then we will evaluate it, and then we will write out the files again, for example, as a JSON, and you can interact with other optimizers. So if you read it in, first we had the data set of the small turbine. Now we have the large one. So here are all the geometrical requirements, or the requirements you need, or the data for the analysis. And then let's see how we process the data. So you have the JSON. So then you can deconstruct that dictionary. You have access to all the parameters. And what to do with these parameters, I told you before, and we have seen that also in the UI UX improvement session. So here we have the little star, so you can basically link that to the show and search. And wherever you go on your workflow, for example, you would like to use the hub height, you can use our radio menu and type in hub, and it will appear, and also shows that it's with this little star, it is a set parameter. So if you have a larger workflow like this, and you need those parameters, you can very, very easy contact them.
That's
so
cool.
What to do next? Yes, so one of our partners, CSA Aachen, is developing an integration within Cameo systems for systems modeler for connecting Synera directly now with Cameo. So you saw that we have the JSON, it's super nice. And CSA Aachen is developing an integration. So if you're more interested about that, about MBSE or model-based engineering with Synera, then please reach out to us. Cool. What do we have as further improvements? So Daniel already gave an introduction into the control web and the web services. We saw a lot of very, very nice workflows. he created himself, send him a push notification, or also other companies we are connecting with, and you can access those web services. But also in the typical fields like geometry, or for example the curve, we have very nice features how to create new curves. The tween curves component is super nice. Something new also in the data. The image panel is new. We have seen that also briefly before. Then improvements and new nodes actually in the voxel area, in the AM area. File system, we have also seen that before. That is super important. Also handling the JSON or whatever whenever connecting to file management systems. And the thermal FEM that opens up a new field in the FEM environment. The improvements, you already seen the show in search, and we have also made this available for the create sliders. That is a very powerful thing where you can directly create multiple sliders at once, and you can simply making them available in the search, toggling them. There are some minor improvements also in the evaluate expression untrim. So we have curve axis here or matched outputs. Then the convert to quadri mesh, we gave it a little more room to jiggle and to play around with the 0.2 of the adaptive size. That's more stability. In the field of FEM, modal and buckling have a lower and upper bound for frequency or eigenvalue. Then we can, in the FEM solver, in our internal FEM solver, we can choose the number of threads going to be used. We're going to see also later in the live demo the fixed displacement. So you have a displacement, but you can actually allow pre-deformations. And the construct model also works only inputting a part, a node, or an element. So that is a more easy to use feature here in the model. And the isotropic material has now the ability with a nonlinear load step also to input stress and strain values. And you have access to the thermal parameters that you can directly enter there. Last but not least, the canvas image has some improvements as well. And let's hop into it and see it live in Synera. So first of all, that is the image panel. You've seen that before. Getting some data directly from the web. That is of course even more powerful. Here I have just imported an image, and here you can keep the aspect ratio, fit it to the size, but you can also copy the image or save it for your colleague, for example. Then this is cool. So the new canvas image, you can let's just check this out and import a picture. So I have some import data here, Synera pic, and it shows you what you like to do. This is a very large image, and it asks you, would you like to scale it down or keep the original? I like to scale it down. So I save some computational powers because you've seen it before. It's already on the limit. So here's Synera and the Synera pic, and you can give it a frame. You can link it to any URL you would like to do. You can lock it, so then you can't do anything. But you might know that on the edit here, interact with locked objects. You can go there, and again you can unlock it, for example. And the same, so you can copy that image and you can save it. Cool. So next thing is the file management system. File system nodes here, and I just made up this small workflow. So here we would like to point to the relative file path. You can do that on different ways, or also choose any other path you would like to. And then we search there for any STL we have. So here in this one we have some STLs inside. We search for it, but also you saw that there were some pictures inside in this folder. So here we only have the file paths from the STLs, and then on one stream we import the STLs, we convert it to a quadri mesh and use the mesh to solid. Now this with the 0.2 it also works a bit more stable. And here we will deconstruct the file paths and construct it new, giving them just another extension. And then we export the step. Very simple workflow. With these new components, you can do all your file management without using any text components. Cool. Then in the field of geometry, I really like these two nodes. So let's check out the tween curves. Sometimes you have the situation, you have two curves and you would like to create a sweep. So you need some curves in between. So that's exactly what tween curves does. So it gives you some curves in between, and then you can do the sweep here, for example. And very nice also the curve and surface. So let's use this surface, but let's use some other curves we have here. I also created them with the tween curve. If they are in between 0 and 1 and you have this nice surface, then you can map it onto that surface. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like for some design sessions. All right, field of AEM, we have this new slice body node. So here you see a basic example is two toruses. And yeah, what it basically does is for FEM production, it slices the bodies. So it does that for geometries and for meshes. And you know that Synera is also able to do convergent modeling. So here we have both. So this was a mesh, this was a body. Now we have a facet surface, convergent modeling, and that is no difference also for this part. And then, of course, you would like to see how it looks like if you have imported a more complex part. And yeah, here we have the isofix bracket, which you have seen. So that works the same. So there's the mesh, and then you can slice it. Now it's a spacing of 1, but you can also set it to 0.1, of course. All right. Then our last field I would like to show you is FEM, what we have here. So that's this simple bracket. I already showed you the isotropic material component. Here we have also the ability to add in stress and strain data. So you can have a nonlinear material behavior here. In this example, we added the thermal parameters, thermal criteria of this material. And then we have this new, for example, fixed temperature component here, node here. So we would like to add some fields here, some cold and some hot temperatures. And of course, it also works with fields. So in this one's here, that is static, but also on this, we added this thermal field, so we can introduce also thermal fields during the simulation. Then that is the steady state heat transfer load step. So we've added some more heat here. And then here you have your heat transfer and heat flux. You can also show the heat flux with the vectors. But one thing I would like to point out is the new fixed displacement component. And here you see that we can have a fixed support on the left side, for example. So we're going to fix that. And on the right side, we will add a pre-deformation. So adding this to the linear static mechanical load step, you will see that also the stresses of this pre-deformation are taken into account. All right. Cool. So that is all the new features, and some glimpse in the new nodes. So if you would like to check it out, reach out to us. So we also have a very nice improved trial. So you easy access to our software, and you can try out all these features yourself. So Daniel, would you like to give us a wrap up?
Sure. Thank you, Marvin. It was so cool to see what it's all inside of this new release. And the biggest question for most of you probably is, when is it available? And as always, today is really a big day. We are not changing the brand. We are also releasing the new software. So the new Synera 2020-10 Fabulous Freya release will be available later today. So definitely check out our new portal to get your hands on. And as Marvin already said, we want not only our customers to get their hands on, we want to open it to the whole world. So with the new Synera release, we have a public trial mode. So everyone who is interested in testing out these giant pack of new nodes in a low-code environment, feel free to go on Synera.io, register on the top right for a free trial, and yeah, in less than 10 minutes, you have your Synera instance running, and you can play around with all these nodes to eliminate all your boring repetitive work. So for me, it was a really exciting day. I think for Marvin and Mael as well, and hopefully for you also. So let's make a quick recap. So with this new Synera 2020-10 release, we have a lot of new functionality. We're starting with the 11 new nodes in the web service area. So now you can open the door to any kind of software as a service, web service application. And we are already preparing a lot of templates for you, which will be available in the portal within the next couple of weeks. So feel free to check them regularly and frequently out to get a kickstart on these web nodes. We saw the UX updates, what Marvin showed us, for example, like forking a wire from left to right. So it will improve your productivity even more. We have the new design with a brand new theme, more modern, more flat. We upgraded the whole academy to the new Synera ecosystem. We got the brilliant demo from Marvin about the model-based engineering and how you can connect this with different parameters and the global variables in the search context. Big thank you to all our add-in partners who developed already this great update for the Synera world. So thank you so much for that. And all the other tiny bits and improvements like the neural thermal simulation, the non-linear simulation, all the other things we saw today. So we really hope you enjoyed it as so much as we did. So thank you so much for joining today. Have a nice day and have a lot of fun with the new Synera release. And please give us some feedback. We are really curious to see what you guys are doing with this. Thank you so much.
All right, that wraps it up. Thank you, Daniel. You said everything. Be excited about Synera.io again. Head to Synera.io, not ELISE.de anymore. And thank you very much, Daniel, Marvin. Great job for this exciting release. And the future is bright for us, right?
Thank you so much again.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye-bye.